I'm going to show you how to get more Facebook page likes by running a Facebook ad to countries with a cheap CPM for literally a few cents a piece. Now, I'm going to pop this picture up on the screen just to show you. I literally started running an ad right here, and you can see I only spent $6.87 just to prove that it was still possible and still really, really easy. And I was literally able to, in about, I think, 20 minutes after the ad started running, to get 239 Facebook page likes for $6.87, which was I guess a little bit over 2 cents per average page like. So 2 cents a page like is what I'm spending. That's how cheap we're talking here. So first thing you're going to do is, obviously, this assumes that you have a Facebook page that you want to get more likes on. If you don't, that's something you need to create ahead of time. Now, if you do, you're going to go ahead and create in your campaign level, and you're going to go to engagement. Okay. And then literally engagement type, page likes. And you can optimize for page likes super easily and super cheap. So here we are in the new campaign. I'm just going to name this like test like campaign, just to kind of, you obviously want to name this something that, you're going to remember. Okay. Then you're going to keep scrolling down. You're going to set your daily budget. Now you can set this as low as $10. You can also go as high as like $100 if you want to start testing. Like I said, depending on how you set this up, you could be paying as low as, honestly under a cent. I've seen that before. I think one of my best Facebook page campaigns was an engagement campaign. It was honestly like 2-3 years ago, but it was like I think they're called pence. It was like a tenth of a penny was what I was paying for page likes. It was ridiculous. So you can test, and then again, if you do see that it works, I'd say test low if you're a little bit skeptical or you don't have a lot of a high budget. Test it relatively low with a daily budget that's relatively low, and when you see that it works from you can either scale the budget up or duplicate the campaign, and then obviously scale horizontally like we talked about. Okay. And then you're going to hit next. Now, one of the things that you do want to do before you hit next, is turn campaign budget optimization off, so you can see just how many estimated page likes you can get depending on your spend. Okay, so turn your campaign budget optimization off. You want to optimize this specific campaign. I usually obviously recommend doing it from the campaign level, but for this page like campaign, we're going to do it in the ad set level. So remember exactly what I said about the daily budget, no lower than 10, but obviously we're going to do that at the ad set level. Okay, so let's click next. Now, new ad set, obviously, you're going to name whatever, to identify your ad set or your audience. If you plan on just doing one, it doesn't really matter. If you plan on doing it to multiple audiences or duplicating audiences or campaigns in the future, name it something that you can remember and, identify relatively fast. So now make sure you have your Facebook page selected. Here's where you're going to do your budget, right? So we're going to come back to the budget here in a second, but this is ultimately where you can start playing around and literally see what the estimated page likes that you're going to get based on your budget is when you start spending, right? And you might think like, oh, that's relatively low. You said you can get it super, super cheap, but you're paying $25 for 36 to 112 page likes. But that's because I'm advertising specifically in the US, because it obviously always, me being in the US and because I constantly advertise strictly to the US a lot of times, it automatically usually has the US selected for me, just assuming that that's what I'm going to target, right? So we're going to set this as low as $10 to start with. And we're going to start going down here and just playing with the targeting. Now, if you wanted the absolute cheapest way to get page likes, then simply all you're going to do is you're going to go worldwide. Worldwide, where is it? There we go, worldwide, right? And then it's going to show you for $10 a day, you could potentially get 150 to about 430 page likes for $10 a day, which is still relatively cheap. I don't know what that actually comes out to. Let's do the math. Now, that's just an estimate, right? It could be cheaper, it could be more, it could be more expensive, it could be less. But with a page like campaign like this, it's usually relatively accurate, okay? So on the low end at 150 divided by $10. Well, actually, let's go, $10 divided by 150. You'd be paying about 6 cents per page like. And on the other hand, $10 divided by 429, you'd be paying 2 cents, which is what I just showed you my results were. So it's going to depend on what your settings are right here. Now, if you wanted to go worldwide, one of the ways that you could keep it the super cheap, like the cheapest, is don't add any detailed targeting, don't add like any languages or anything like that, and then just go to the next level, right? But if you wanted to get a little bit more, remember I told you in the beginning, like if you want to solely target like your specific niche or your specific interest or your specific, what's the word I'm looking for? Like target market within a country, then you can obviously opt to do that, but it's going to be more expensive per page like, right? And you just have to kind of figure out like what is more important to you, just the page likes for social proof and more weight with the algorithm when you're advertising in the future? Or do you want to potentially go after target customers now that could potentially buy from you in the future and knock, two birds out with one stone, but for a little bit more, right? You just have to answer that question yourself. But usually speaking is as you kind of scale right here, you'll start to see more and more estimated results. And it's really just going to be up to you based on, do you want to specifically target specific countries or not? I'd keep automatic placements on because it's not really going to matter. The only places that these page like campaigns are going to be shown is in the mobile or desktop newsfeed. So you really don't have to worry about taking stories off or anything like that because they won't be shown in there anyway. And then the next thing you're going to do, if you want to set a cost control, you can. I don't really ever worry about that. If you say like, hey, I don't want to pay over 5 cents per page like, then you can do it right there. And then hit next. And then you're simply going to craft your ad, right? Craft what it looks like. Now it's usually very, very simple in the beginning. It's going to pull up with like your page's cover photo as well as like your page's primary description. So you can change them obviously if you want to put something else in there. So one thing that worked for me is like Brian Gare is the founder of Invert Media, an online education company that helps aspiring entrepreneurs, right? In a short sentence or two, not very long, describe what that person is going to get, right? You don't want to make it very long because it's not like it's like a high barrier to entry, right? Nobody's going off Facebook. Nobody's really spending any money or anything like that. All they're doing is liking your page, which is a low barrier to entry. It doesn't cost them anything, okay? So keep it short, keep it simple, tell them what they're going to get. Also, change your image. So if you have good images already, pick one that you have already. It can be anything from your business. If you don't, make it like a bright stock image that represents something similar with your business, something that's going to capture attention, get eye traffic as people are scrolling down the newsfeed, and get them to potentially like, so you can either invite them in the future, as well as, just potentially hit the like button so it automatically likes your page, right? And it's really that simple. That's how you set this up. And you'd be amazed at how well it actually works, okay? So let me show you from the back end, since that other one's still running that I ran before, to show you, because I'm not actually going to publish this. If for whatever reason, a vast majority of the people that you can see like right here, like immediately, it's 133 and about 382 people have liked the page since, right? But if for whatever reason, a lot of people, you'll see this as well, and this is one of the secrets of like running engagement campaigns when you're not actually running for page likes, is people that like your posts that don't follow your page, you can actually invite them as well. So make sure that you do go back and invite the people that didn't actually like it by clicking like the engagement right here, and then inviting the people and scrolling down the people that didn't actually like it. You'll see that you can invite them. Like I invited this person. I invited that person. So you'll see them. There might be a few here. I literally just did this right before we hopped on, so there might not be any examples. Here's one. So I can invite this person, obviously, boom. And that's what you want to do, right? Like maybe like every, couple hours, hop on and just invite all the people that haven't liked the page yet. And that'll give you another opportunity to get more page likes at literally no extra cost to you.